I've created a lucrative business out of helping large organizations achieve their goals by taking their strategies and making it practical. If you want to learn how to turn your plans into practical activities to cultivate the life you've always wanted, this series is for you. Creating a plan is easy-ish, and it's only about 10% of what you need to create the life you have always wanted. In this plan, you must specify this is where you are at, and these are the goals that you believe will increase your short and long-term well-being. If you want to know how to create the best plan for your life, check out my tutorial on how to create and buy into your life strategy, which is the first installment in this series. This tutorial, however, focuses on exactly how to take the plans you have created and make them a reality. The first thing we need to do is to create a roadmap, which is your tactical action plan based on your life strategy. Without this, you will continuously find yourself in a loop where you will start an initiative and then stop shortly after without reaching your goals. This is what we call false starts, and that can be quite demotivating. So, to create this roadmap, you need to create systems that will get you to your goals. What most people forget is that a strategy is implemented one day at a time. Therefore, the things you do habitually are the things that really aid you in reaching your goals. In business, we have the saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Substitute culture for habits, and it works in our personal lives too. So, how do we create systems? Start by breaking up your goals into quantifiable milestones. Instead of saying, I have 4,000 subscribers on my channel by October 2025, have smaller goals in between that are more manageable and easier to track. Next is to convert your goals to focus on inputs instead of outcomes. Yes, the outcomes are important, but we don't necessarily have control over them. So focus on what you can control. I cannot control how many people subscribe to my channel, but I can control how many videos I post. Speaking of, if you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you haven't, this is a gentle reminder to kindly hit that subscribe button. Having these two views of your goals will give you great data points to ascertain whether your inputs are leading to your desired outcomes. And if not, what are the things within your control that you need to change? Be clear on what success looks like at each milestone so that you can recognize and celebrate it when you achieve it. You can do this by creating SMART goals. SMART goals have been around since the beginning of time, but just in case it is new to you, here is a micro lesson. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific, I'll reach 4,000 YouTube subscribers. It's measurable, it literally has a number that I can track. It's not too far-fetched, so it is attainable. It is relevant to my ultimate goal of making a difference in at least one person's life by sharing information I wish I knew when I was younger. And if you are that person, please give me a like on this video. And it has a clear deadline, October 2025. Once you understand your smaller targets, you need to think of 3 other elements that need to work together for your system to work: technology, people, and processes. Let's start with technology. Ask yourself, do I have the tech, tools, and equipment, the resources I need to reach my goals? If not, do I need to buy, borrow, or build? Much like in business, having the right tool stack will help you reach your goals faster. These tools should not only enable you to reach your specific goals, but should also help you monitor your progress against your plan. For instance, I've invested in speech-to-text software to reduce the time it takes to create the scripts for my YouTube videos. I've also adopted tools such as a Kanban board to monitor my progress against my plans on a week-by-week basis. I've even gone as far as develop a personal strategic alignment tracker to ensure that every action I take brings me closer to my life goals with minimal wasted time. If you want to access my personal strategic alignment tracker, download it through the link in the description box below. The next question is, what funds do I need to acquire these tools if I don't already have them? Having missing resources or tools that are not fit for purpose can be a source of frustration, and when we are frustrated, we are more likely to give up on our goals. If you don't have the funds, create a plan on how to get it. I always wanted to be a classically trained pianist, but I didn't have the funds for the lessons, and I always used that as an excuse until I decided to make a plan. I had one conversation with my financial advisor and we figured out a way to legally reduce my tax liability, and all of a sudden I had the extra cash to fund my dream. It started with me having a mind shift change from there isn't any money to there is money somewhere, I just need to find it. Next, look at people. Ask yourself, do I have the skills to reach my goals? Not having the right skills can be a source of anxiety, and when we are anxious, we don't perform at our peak. It is also a reason why people may quit on their goals. If you don't have the skills, decide on whether you can learn or buy them. For instance, for my business, the Change Hub, to survive, I need to build a stronger online presence. I have zero skills in social media, so I'm buying the time and expertise from a social media strategist to help me realize this goal. I could learn to do this all by myself, sure, but it would take me years, and by that time my goals would have shifted. Also, as a business owner, I strongly believe that you should outsource as much as you can. Now, apart from yourself and your required skills, you need to consider 3 other people who could help you on this journey. Number 1 is a coach. This is someone who guides you on how to best achieve your specific goals. They've usually gone through the process themselves and they have a lot of lessons and advice to share. For instance, I have been doing research for years and I'm very good at it, but when it comes to publishing my work, I still have a lot to learn. So to reach my publishing goals, I found an experienced author who is coaching and guiding me through the process. Coaches usually ask for something in return. This could be in the form of money or something of equal value. In my case, my coach will receive a co-author credit on all the publications they assist with. With coaches, you need to create a win-win situation. The second is a mentor. While a coach is more of an accountability partner and more performance-driven, the mentor is more development-driven, as in developing you as a person as opposed to a specific skill. Usually mentors donate their time, which means they mentor you for free. All you have to do is ask and put in the work. Number 3 is a sponsor. This person can open doors for you that may otherwise be difficult or time-consuming to open by yourself. For instance, I have a sponsor that helps secure speaking opportunities for me at different events. Because of their connections, I don't have to work as hard to reach my goals when it comes to public speaking. What makes a sponsor different from a mentor is that they are in a position of power and have a lot of influence and social capital. All you have to do is find a person with these characteristics and ask them to be your sponsor. I am a very hard worker, but hard work can only take you so far. If you want to achieve great things, whether it is professional or in your personal life, you need sponsors. You don't pay a sponsor with money. You pay them by living up to their recommendation, as in, do not make your sponsor look like a fool once you land the opportunities. One of the biggest blockers for individuals when trying to reach their goals is thinking that they have to do it all by themselves. You can reach your goals with less effort if you create a support network and collaborate more. So, for each goal that you have, write down the names of the people who will be able to support you. Now let's move on to process. These are the systems you need to reach your goals. Start by creating a backlog of all the known activities you need to do to reach your specific goals. I usually just list all my activities in a single notebook, one after the other, and this list keeps on growing as I identify new activities. Now that we know what to do at a granular level, we need to figure out how to do it, and this we call our operational plan. A process I swear by is the plan, do, check, act cycle, or the PDCA cycle. Typically, this is used in organizations when they want to continuously improve their operations, but I find it work fantastically well in our personal lives too. Decide on a day when you can do a 7-day plan. Do it on a day when you have enough time to think and reflect. Look at your calendar for the next week and ask yourself, where can I find the capacity to focus on my goals? Don't ask if you have the capacity. This is a poor growth mindset. Be solutions focused and carve out some time. With the 24 hours gifted to you each day, pay yourself in time first before paying anybody else. How many days have you come home from work too tired to start that business or write that book or cook that incredibly elaborate meal or whatever. Why do we find it so acceptable to work on our goals with leftover time and leftover energy? That is why the first 3 hours of my day are dedicated to my goals. My family, my friends, my clients, their dreams can wait until 8 in the morning. For activities that require consistency, like learning a new language or learning how to play an instrument where skipping days will make you regress, find consistent time slots in your calendar. A common mistake people make when planning at an operational level is allocating too much time to recurring activities. When we are in planning mode, we are quite optimistic, so a 30-minute language lesson seems quite reasonable until you actually have to do it consistently. So for activities where you know your motivation is inconsistent and low, opt for a micro version of said activity. So instead of a 30-minute lesson, have a 5-minute lesson. And on the days you feel particularly motivated, you can increase that 5 minutes. This way, you build less resistance into getting the job done. Next, block time for activities that require focus. These are activities that need a continuous block of time to be effective. For instance, when I do anything research related, I need at least 3 hours to my disposal to do anything meaningful. No distractions, no multitasking. For the rest of your activities that do not require consistency, create a Kanban board. A Kanban is a visual tool that gives you a good idea of what work still needs to be done and what is in progress at a glance. This is a simple way to ensure you stick to the activities you have planned. You can do this online or on paper. I'm a paper kind of gal when it comes to the Kanban, so a clipboard, A4 paper, and some sticky notes get the job done. I start my week off with all my tasks in my not started column. As I start working on it, it moves to the in progress column, and when it is done, it goes to the completed column. Just a word of caution, as humans we tend to favor urgent tasks over important ones. To combat this, I've replaced the famous Eisenhower matrix that I've used for years and years and years with the value analysis framework, which is a tool I strategically borrowed from my process re-engineering days. It works as follows. Value add activities are things that directly support you in reaching your goals. For example, your goal is to publish a paper in a journal. So your value add activity is to write the paper. These types of activities you typically do yourself. Whether you do them now or whether you schedule them for later, it doesn't matter. They must be done. So make time for them. Value enabling or necessary tasks are things that indirectly support you in reaching your goals. For instance, formatting said paper based on the guidelines of the intended journal. Formatting the paper does not improve the quality of your research or the findings, but your paper won't even be considered for publication unless you use the right format. These types of tasks can be outsourced or delegated. Remember, you don't have to do everything yourself. I usually just pay someone to do this on my behalf. If an activity is not value add or value enabling, it is a waste, whether it is urgent or not. These activities we simply do not do. Now that our operational plan is full of value add and value enabling activities, it is time for us to do. And for that, just follow your schedule, and where you had blank times in your day, progress on the tasks on your Kanban board. At the end of the day, celebrate all the activities you have completed. My reward today was sitting in my little garden, having a little tea party with a slice of red velvet and enjoying a New York Times bestseller. To reach the goals you've always wanted, remember that a strategy is implemented one day at a time. So work on your goals every day and be patient. In the next and final installment of the series, I'll share a step-by-step guide on how you can keep to your plan. And that's it for me today. If you have comments or questions, just pop them into the comment section. Like this, share this, subscribe to this. This is Dr. J, signing off.